Okay, so this is Melinda, and a little over 60. We 2 weeks ago did the right eye, moderately high myope. 2 days ago the left eye. Things are going well, and we're gonna discuss eye drop use. And thank you for taking the time to speak with us. We're interested in understanding how taking your eye drops affects your daily routine, how you manage to schedule your drop use, and how you use your drops. Are you open to sharing some of your experiences with us today?
Sure.
Okay, great. So questions. So let's just open up. Tell me about the last time you used your drops.
It was this morning at 9:30, and the left eye, which was most recently repaired, has the 3 drops, and so the right eye is still on 2 drops. So I put the
Catafloxacin, yeah.
in first in the left eye this morning. Wait the 3 to 5 minutes, and then I put the ketorolac in, and then I put the ketorolac into the right eye. Wait that time again, then put the prednisone in the left eye and then the right eye.
Mm-hmm. And can you show us how you do that?
When I first started, I was doing this, but after the surgery, I realized that it caused a little more discomfort. So now I just pull the lower lid down and hold the drop over and drop it in. Usually it goes right where I need it, and then do the same for the right. And then kind of close my eyes, kind of, you have the feeling that you're getting a coating where it needs to be, and then wait the time till I do the next drop and do the same thing.
Okay, good. And how did you get your drops?
From the pharmacy?
Right, was there any pain points, any problems with that?
Initially, my pharmacy was out of, I believe, the ketorolac. It was kind of interesting because I got a call saying this prescription was ready, and I'm like, which prescription? Because I was still like a month out before the first surgery, and so I had to call and clarify, okay, and then, because at the time they said we don't have one of them, and I'm thinking, So once I called, talked to them, got that all clarified, there was enough time for them to get the ketorolac, and I went and picked everything up at one time, and no problem at all. Put a memo in my phone to remind me when to start, and then an additional reminder, so during the day it reminds me as well.
Very good, thank you, that's helpful. So can you tell me how you remember to use your drops?
I think early on, one of the ways I remember is because it feels like it doesn't hurt, but maybe it's a little dry or irritated feeling, something like that. So especially later in the day, or if I've been reading or doing a lot. Yesterday I went to a basketball game, so I'm at the basketball game. I had taken my drops because it's 3 times a day on this eye, and so during the game, and someone says, oh, do you have something in your eye? And I'm like, no, and I explain, and they're like, oh, okay. So that's one reminder. And then later when I got home, the reminder was that this eye just kind of felt maybe a little more strained or dry, so it's like, okay, it's going to feel good when I put those drops in. And in addition, the reminder in my phone, I have the drops with me or somewhere that I'm going to see them. I keep them in the little bottle, and when I do my routine with the drops, I take them all out of the little bottle, and then as I use it, I put that one back in the bottle, so I know which ones I still haven't done in case I get sidetracked.
Excellent, thank you. How did you learn? Tell me how you learned to put drops in, to take the drops.
history with my age. I think just through the years of, using, having worn contacts, kind of going through a time where, probably overuse of contacts, you get used to needing to keep your eye lubricated, just that discomfort. Different times wearing contacts, you end up even putting saline in your eye, that kind of stuff. And I think, just that way, nothing, no instruction per se, but just trial and error.
Okay, great. So how did the schedule fit into your routine when you take the drops?
For me, it doesn't seem to disrupt it at all. I'm work from home. I think initially, for me, coming up to when I had to start before the surgery, putting the drops in on like Saturday, it was like I'd be saying, okay, remind me, I have to put the drops in tomorrow. I have to do it tomorrow. Even though I had my reminders, I had it on the calendar. It was just my, I guess, rule following and not wanting to have any problems with the procedure. And so it's, just worked into my routine. Initially, I, was really keeping track on the papers that were provided, make sure that I checked off when they were, I put in the drops 3 times a day. Now it's, almost habit. I think there's been, in this whole time, 2-week period, that I may have only gotten the drops in twice one day, and there might have been one other time, but that was it.
Fantastic. Have you ever had a bad reaction to the drops?
Not to these drops, no. I'm prone to having skin issues and reactions, and I researched the drops myself once I got them, before I ever put them in, to make sure that they didn't have anything in them that I know that I'm allergic to. I also made sure that when I went in for surgery, that there were all these new drops that I asked the nurse to check to make sure that they didn't have anything that was a known allergy to me.
Great. These drops, actually, who pays for your eye drops?
I do have insurance, so I just had the copay on them. So that wasn't much. I don't remember, $4 or I think it was $4, or the most it would have been was $12. I don't remember.
Is that part military?
No, I actually have insurance through the state.
Okay, great. And how does that impact your budget?
A lot, I'm sure. And if I didn't have insurance, or sometimes insurance doesn't cover certain things, I've actually used the GoodRx card, which I would have tried. I actually suggested that to my mom the other day when she has glaucoma drops, and she was telling me how much they had gone up, and so I had suggested that GoodRx card.
How long does an eye drop bottle last for you?
Let's see, 2 weeks ago was my first eye. I think I may have another day or two on the G.
The Getafloxacin, yeah.
Yes, that one. The other 2 bottles still seem like they're, you can't see, but they're probably half full, I think.
So it's working out pretty well?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. How would you use your drops if you were to travel?
The same way, and I have traveled in between, the first surgery, or right prior to the first surgery and since the first surgery. So again, I just keep them in that larger, medicine bottle that they provide from the pharmacy, and just keep them with me, or we're here in Alaska, so I don't leave them in the car in the winter time. And then the phone reminders help, and my reminders to my family, to help me remember. And there hasn't been an issue with that.
So, would you say that that technology has helped, or that you're familiar with the technology?
With the phone,
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Yeah, I think that, you remember, but it sometimes it's annoying because it reminds you, and, when you're least expecting it, but, it probably helps, to have that just as a backup.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And have you ever decided not to use the eye drops?
No. Like I said, I'm too much of a rule follower.
Is there anything you would suggest to a new eye drop user?
Just follow the rules. I think the last time we talked, the one thing that I had thought about was that I think as people start to feel better, it's easier to forget and think that, not necessarily that you don't need them, but maybe a cost thing, that they think that they can stretch it out longer. But I think just, your eyes are pretty important, so I would do as I was told.
Fantastic. So thank you again for sharing your experiences, and would you mind if we followed up with any questions at a later date?
No, no, not at all. I just think it's fantastic.